Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Kings of the South podcast, the NFC South podcast. We are your hosts. That is Mr. Jet Setter, Mr. I'm always on the road, never at home, Mr. TJ right there.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm your boy Corey. I know some of you been in the comments. Hey man, where y'all at? Where's the new video? I've been sick. My kids been sick. My wife's been sick. We've been down bad. I might get myself a down bad board, man. It's been rough the past couple of days, man. But everybody's on the
Hey.
mend now. So also, it's the off season, baby. You got to buck up. This is where you got to put, your soul on the road. You find out who you are as a man in the off season. You got to
Oh
buck up.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
got to do the. You got it's a grind. How dedicated are you? You know what I'm
Hey man, you and me both been going through it the last month.
saying?
I was just sick like a few weeks ago. Now you're sick,
hmm
finally getting better. So
Yeah,
we've been going through it the last month, man.
yeah, man. But
And then on top of work and everything else.
yeah. But we're here now.
Yeah.
We're playing injured for you guys because we love you guys, and also, off season is peak content. Everybody you can put out anything, which is
Yeah.
the basis of this episode.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So,
telling you.
as
Hey,
you all,
until free agency starts.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh that's next episode, buddy. No, no,
Oh
no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. Next episode will be draft oriented. You know what I'm saying? So.
Combine's next week.
Oh, yep, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it
Yeah. Yeah.
next
There's a lot to get
episode.
into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we call a teaser in the biz, folks. So this episode, as we all know, the Kansas City Chiefs are back-to-back world champions. To the surprise of pretty much everybody, except for me. Once they hit playoffs, I called it. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that they won a Super Bowl. The the topic of this episode is with free agency coming up. What free agents, one on offense, one on defense, will provide each of the teams in the NFC South the best chance of making it to a Super Bowl? Not going to a Super Bowl, not winning a Super Bowl. We're simply saying which two players will give that team the best chance of going to one. And you know, we gotta pay some respect. Let's kick it off with the Kings of the South, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is uh
Yeah.
this is pretty simple for me. Mike Evans and Anton Whitfield. We're saying your players that there is no other
Yeah.
free agent that provides as much value as those guys.
Yeah. I would agree. I was gonna say them too, because I mean Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer, 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And then Antoine Winfield, arguably defensive player of the year candidate for me and you.
Yeah.
Um, definitely outplayed his draft position.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was a second round pick by Tampa
Mm-hmm.
Bay.
Yep.
I know he wasn't a first.
Yep.
Um, Me and you were both high on him coming out of college, and he
Mm-hmm.
has excelled. And this was a breakout year for him, and he's definitely about to get paid.
Oh yeah.
He should get
Ooh.
paid. Should.
Oh, he'll definitely get paid.
Yeah. If it's
Maybe
not
not
by
this
Tampa
year.
Bay,
Yeah.
it'll be by somebody else.
Oh man, they'll be beating down the doors for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also too, you could argue, you know,
Go ahead, say his name. Go ahead, say his name.
co offensive importance, Baker Mayfield.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe I'm
Yes,
saying
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
I I was not a believer in Baker this season before the season
Mm,
started, and I stand by that comment. I uh, I made my oatmeal. I'm gonna eat
hey,
it.
man.
That's such an old man saying. Why would I say
Hey,
that?
we're there, buddy.
Eat your oatmeal, sonny boy.
We're there, buddy.
But yeah, I think that one's very simple and self-explanatory. I mean, you could argue Baker, but I mean, at the end of the day, Mike Evans carries that offense. And Antoine Winfield, I'd argue he's more valuable than Vita Vea, and Vita Vea is great.
I would say, and it's not even that big of a reach. It's not that cold. It's not that hot of a take. It's a relatively cold take. I would say Anton Winfield is probably the most important defensive player in this free agency franchise tag. Well, no, I take
Yeah.
that back. That's Chris Jones. Chris
Yeah. I
Jones.
mean, he can't be franchise tag, but they're going to try to work out a new deal.
Yeah, I heard he can be franchise tag. They just have to pay whatever's left on last year's deal.
No, from what everything I've heard the last 3 months is that he cannot be franchise tagged. That was part of the agreement for him coming back.
Teams break their word all the time. So
I'm just saying, it's
yeah,
in his contract. So, but now that here nor there, we're not we're not the AFC
yeah,
West here. We're the NFC
they're
South.
talked about enough.
Yeah, yeah, I get tired of
But
hearing about them.
yeah, Anton Winfield is one of the most important defensive players entering quote unquote free agency or the tag.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that take care of the Bucks.
Let's
Let's
go
go to
Saints.
the most difficult one in the division because they're poor. I don't
Yeah, they're
know
you
what.
know, so I don't mean to interrupt you, but funny thing is they announced the cap number for this
Mhm.
year today, which is 255 million, which is 31 million more than last year.
Uh,
And
Thanks, Taylor Swift.
yeah, right. Yeah, okay. And the Saints also restructured Derek Carr's contract today. With that factored in, they're still negative 40 million under the cap. Or sorry, over the cap. Over the cap. Not under, over. They still are behind negative 40 million. Yeah.
I'm gonna find some like horror music audio, and I'm gonna edit it over this part of this podcast. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
yeah. Hey,
insane.
we're about to have some sick edits on these next couple weeks,
Oh
bro.
my gosh. And I know what they're doing. I get it. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
They made their bed. There's no way out right now.
Yeah. This is why
Um,
they shouldn't have got Derek Carr in the first place. They should have stuck with Jameis and drafted a quarterback.
Brother, they should have done a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, Golly, I don't know. They can use another receiver. They can definitely use another offensive lineman. I say, um, I don't think it'll happen. I'm trying to be realistic here.
Yeah.
Maybe Tyron Smith at left tackle because Trevor Penning is trash. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry to be the one to say it, but um, defense. The defense is already pretty good. Um,
Yeah, it is.
um,
It's tough, man, because they don't have cap and we don't know where they're going to be with the cap.
well, they're gonna
But they
they're
always
gonna
find a way to make a
yeah
move, though.
they're gonna kick the shit out of that can. So they're gonna probably end up with about $20 million in cap space. Probably that'll be my guess.
I know you said Tyron Smith. I was going to say Cody Whitehair. I mean, he plays
Mm,
guard. They don't need a center because they have Eric McCoy.
they guard though.
But they need guard,
Yeah,
and
Andrew
they're
Pete is
probably
the
gonna
free agent.
they're probably gonna lose Andrews Pete. I think you still roll with um
I
old
don't know
boy
who I don't know
from
who
the
he is either.
from
Caesar
left
Ruiz.
tackle.
Caesar Ruiz. No.
Oh yeah, he's the right guard. I'm talking about the left tackle. Who's the left tackle again?
Oh,
What's his name?
Penning.
Yeah, Trevor Penning. There you go.
Oh no, you
Uh,
can't roll with him. You cannot roll with him.
I think, well, okay, so I think that they're going to have to until they get to the draft. I don't think Tyron Smith's going to go to New Orleans. If Tyron Smith plays football next year, it's either in Dallas or he doesn't play at all.
Kansas City.
Or Kansas City. I could see Kansas City. Yeah. Besides that, though, I don't think he plays football next year if he doesn't go to a winning team,
Yeah.
a Super Bowl contender. Um, So I'm gonna say Cody Whitehair just because I feel like that's a reasonable signing. That would be a good signing. I think he's better than Andrews Pete. That's just me.
Oh no, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
I think
Um,
Andrews Pete was overpaid.
yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. I don't,
Defensively, that's tough.
because essentially they have the pieces. They have everything on defense. The defense is
Yeah,
what kept them in the majority of the games. They just need to get younger.
I think their cornerback position is good. They have Paulson Adebo, they have Marshawn Lattimore, they have Avante Taylor. Um, I heard they're probably gonna cut Marcus May. So you go safety in free agency if you want. I mean, the safety class is pretty good this year in the draft. Um, that's tough. I mean, I guess my defensive for acquisition, it's not really acquisition. Find a way to keep Tyrann Mathieu because I've also heard he could be a cap casualty.
But the thing is, they can't really cut anyone without taking on a massive amount of dead cap. Is not unprecedented. We just
Yeah,
saw Miami come out today and say, "Hey, we're cutting Xavier Howard and taking a $35 million dead cap hit over the next couple of years." So
yeah.
it's doable, but I don't know, man. Yeah.
I would say they need to improve their pass rush because they could. Cam Jordan didn't have the best of seasons. Um, I just don't know who they sign. I don't want to be, cheesy and say Emmanuel Ogba because he just got released today.
Ooh, I can see that though. He
I
plays
could
good
see it
style of
though.
defense.
Yeah, he
He plays
fits
good
what they like
style
to
of
do.
defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the body type and like
See,
he can
I'm
play
over
all
here
through
just
down.
I'm just
Yeah,
shooting names and it actually makes sense. So I'm
yeah,
gonna say Emmanuel Ogba
yeah.
if I'm
That'll
actually trying
work.
to
That'll
pick
work.
someone that's not on the team.
Yeah, because
Because
Carl
Tyrann Matthews not a
Granderson.
free agent.
Yeah, Carl Granderson needs some help on the other side. He's getting
Hmm.
double teamed and yeah, he caught people by surprise this year. He won't
Hmm.
be able to catch people by surprise next year.
No,
They're
no.
gonna be ready for him.
I'll be curious to see what they do at Cam Jordan. Do you think he retires?
Hell no, he's getting them checks.
He's he's
He
35. He's 35, bro.
getting them checks, man. He gonna play another year or two, and then he'll retire.
Yeah,
He's definitely
interesting.
not retiring this year. Um, Dallas Allen went on the podcast and said they got a specific plan for uh, Cam Jordan and how they think he can recover from his down year last year. So we'll see. I think he's
Yeah.
wrong, but we'll see. Where you want to go next, buddy? You want to go your Panthers or my Falcons?
Let's
Either
let's
way.
go Falcons. Let's go in division order. It went Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Okay. All right, I'm with it. So my Falcons. I'm gonna start defense first. Defense, we need to find a way to get either L'Jarius Sneed or give me Cal Duggar, man. Give me a good
Yeah.
safety. Give me a good safety. Something on the front line. Well, no, I'm walking that all the way back. Timeout. I have an opportunity to do something here.
You got edge rusher available, and there's a
Give
lot of edge
me
rushers.
Brian Burns. Give me
He's not gonna hit the
Brian
market.
Burns,
He's not gonna hit
brother.
the market.
Yeah.
He's not
Give
gonna
me
hit the
Brian
market.
Burns. If he make it. If he
He'll be
make
franchise tagged.
Hey, hey, if you don't, give me Brian Burns. Okay? That's who I want.
Or you could, who I think. So I have a couple of guys that I think could go to the Falcons.
I'll take Bryce Huff. That's who I'm leaning towards for real, for real.
I got one. You might not say he's better, but he makes a lot of sense. Well, no, because your DC left. Damn. I
Yeah,
was gonna say I was gonna say Marcus Davenport because he's a free
no,
agent.
he had his chance. He chose the Vikings over us. How'd that work out, buddy?
But
Well,
but I'm also gonna here's one. I'm going to edge rusher because I think that's y'all's biggest need on defense. I think your safety position's good, but
oh no, Richie Grant will not play for us.
you can get depth. You can get depth, but I don't think you need to be going big spending. Kyle Duggar is going to command a big contract.
Will he though?
Yeah.
I know he should, but I don't think he
Have
will.
you? Okay, I forgot. You guys don't watch New England
Oh
games. I'm a
no,
Patriots
no,
fan.
I know how good he is. I get it.
He he
But
he is on the older side. I'll give him that. He's 27.
wait,
Um,
wait, wait, I'm tripping because New England got the most cap space. second most.
Yeah,
They're gonna keep
they're
him.
probably gonna re-sign him.
They're
They
gonna keep
should.
him. Yeah.
They should. They
Yeah.
should. Um, I just don't feel like safety is your biggest need. Edge rusher is your biggest need for sure. Y'all have lacked an edge rush for years now. I'm gonna go low budget because as of right now, I'm just curious to see what the Falcons do. Do you want to go big spending on on a pass rusher? If you get Justin Fields with a second round pick, you might not need to do that because then you can use your top 10 pick to get an edge rusher like a Dallas Turner, Jared Verse. But I think you're double dipping at edge rusher this offseason. I think you get at least one in free agency, and you'll definitely get one in the draft. Um, I'm going to go DJ Wanham. Now, I
Ooh.
know that doesn't sound like a big name to some people, but if you watched Viking games this year, DJ Wanham had a
Yeah,
breakout
he's
season.
produced. He's produced.
He produced, yeah. And he's younger and he's cheaper than Daniil Hunter. The reason I
Hmm.
didn't go Daniil Hunter to the Falcons is because he wants to get paid, and I think Atlanta would be smarter to use their cash to fill the whole roster versus getting one big name free agent who's also 30 years old or about to be 30 years old.
Hmm.
Um, don't get me wrong, Daniil Hunter is great, but I think DJ Wanham is peaking. Like he's on the up. And I think that's a good move for you guys because you can still go get another edge rusher in the draft. You're not overspending. You can address other needs along the offense and the defense. Maybe go get you another receiver like a Calvin Ridley or a Hollywood Brown or somebody that can kind of assist Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and who I assume is going to be your quarterback as of right now, Justin Fields.
I have a thought on that. I'll save it for the next podcast. Uh, but yeah, I don't think you're
Oh yeah,
wrong
there
in
was a
your.
lot of rumors there was a lot of rumors today, huh?
Oh man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's getting wild.
It's getting
Hey,
wild, baby.
it's
We
getting
here.
me.
We
I'm getting a little
here.
excited.
We here, man. But yeah,
uh,
I don't think.
offense. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no. I
I
just
kind of
want to
jumped
touch
around a
on.
little bit.
Yeah, I just want to touch on what you said. I don't think you're wrong in your assessment. I do think edge rusher has been our biggest weakness for
Hmm.
hell almost 10 years now since Vic Beasley, honestly, since he had his
Yeah.
miraculous year.
Yep.
Um, if I had my way, it goes Brian Burns, can't get Brian Burns, Josh Allen, can't get Josh Allen. Let's get Bryce Huff. We can get Bryce Huff.
Yeah.
We're playing a 3-4 now. Uh, in terms of win rate, he is one of the most successful pass rushers in the NFL. Small sample size, I will say that small sample size, but uh, the the upside if he hits will be. He's a similar player. When I watch him, he reminds me of Brian Burns. Like,
Hmm.
not I would rather have the real thing, but if I can't get the real thing, I will settle for the great value, brother. Beggars
Yeah.
cannot be choosers.
Yeah.
So offense. Oh man, I want to say receiver, but I don't see us spending big on receivers. So if we do, I'll probably say uh uh Darnell Mooney.
Was gonna say that. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say that.
yeah.
I was gonna say Darnell Mooney just because y'all spent big last off season in free agency, and I know you have money, but something tells me they're not gonna go overspending
Oh no,
on
bro.
players.
Oh no. Uh, we're spending big this year again. Arthur Blank has said it in press conferences. Terry Fontenot said it. We're gonna spend money. Now,
No, no,
whether
no.
or
I'm
not
not
we
saying that. I'm more so saying like I just don't think it's gonna make sense. Like I said about Daniil Hunter, I just don't think
oh
it's
yeah,
gonna
we
make
can't go
sense to.
all in for one player. No,
That's what I'm
We-
saying. Yeah,
yeah, we're
that's what I
gonna
mean.
spend, but
Yeah.
hell, we might spend on Frankie Lou. I don't know. You know what I'm
Hey, well, from reports I'm hearing, if he's wanting all that money, he can have it
saying?
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, we ain't winning nothing anytime soon, so
I
hey,
hear
have
you.
at it.
I feel you on that.
Hey, bro,
Feel you on
I'm just
that.
keeping it real, man.
Hey, there's no better segue than to get into it now, man. I give you the floor, brother, because I have my
Man,
suggestions.
So I'm gonna try to keep it realistic because right now we know T. Higgins got franchise tagged today.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Ayuk is still on the 49ers roster as of today.
Mm-hmm.
And those would be my top two guys that I would want on offense. But I'm not going to go that route because of the fact it would require a trade. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking signing a player who's going to be a free agent or more than likely a free agent. Um, I would say for me, right now, with the receiver class the way it is, I haven't heard any rumors of him getting franchise tagged. I think you did say that, though. Michael Pittman was who I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my go-to. But realistically, if I'm Indy, I'm not letting him hit the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Hollywood Brown on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I like Calvin Ridley, but I just don't think at his age, he's 27 going on 28. He's a little older.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's played a little less football because he missed that 1 year because of the suspension. Um, I just think for what Hollywood Brown does on the field, stretching the field, um, that's what we need. We need someone who can stretch a defense and free up the run game some more. And Hollywood Brown's speed is his strength. He's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. Um, I would say he's probably my number one option. Low key, I'm gonna throw this in there. I wouldn't mind Noah Fant coming in at tight end. I don't hate it because he
Mm-hmm.
did play under Dave Canellis in Seattle.
I can see.
So I don't hate it. There's a lot of Seattle staff on our team. There's also a lot of Tampa Bay staff on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, Hollywood Brown, Noah Fant, both have the ability to stretch defense. They're both fast players, good speed. Um, defense.
Oh, wait, before we get in defense, can I give you my take on offense? Because
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like the
yeah.
defense is going to take up a lot of time, man.
Yeah.
Because I got thoughts myself.
I
Uh,
got I got some thoughts myself. Yeah.
Offense, hear me out. It's between two players.
Okay.
Bring back Curtis Samuel.
I thought about that. I did think
Mhm.
about that. I don't hate that. I actually like that. I like Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, he's a deep threat. I feel like his best football is ahead of him. I feel like if you give
Hmm.
him an opportunity now with all the experience and knowledge that he knows now, he's going to thrive in that wide receiver two, wide receiver one fringe, uh,
Yeah.
in the offense. And this one is a little out there for offense. It's a little out there, but hear me out. Antonio Gibson,
I don't hate that.
6'2", 225, was a former wide receiver in college. He has home run speed. He has home run vision. And I think he's the kind of back that Dave Canales will be looking for. And he's the kind of back that he will be better than Rashad White last year because I think he's a better running back than Rashad White. I 100% agree with that. There's without a fiber, with every fiber in my being, like when last year when people was getting on me when I said Dak was a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, that's how
Yeah,
confident I feel about this.
yeah.
If you give
Yeah, I
Antonio
don't hate it.
Gibson an opportunity, he's going to put up numbers in an offense
Hmm.
as a number one running back. He catches like a receiver. He is a receiver. He is
Yeah.
more suited for Dave Canales' offense than
Hmm.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I,
that's my
I I like
stand.
that. That's a good shout. I think the only thing I'll say to that is they have to find a way to get rid of Miles Sanders. I mean, even if you have to, hey, Philly, I've heard rumors that we could trade Miles Sanders for like a day three pick, like a six or a seven, um, just to say, hey, can you take on his contract? Um, so we'll see.
But
I really like that. That's actually
I
a
don't
good
think
shout.
I don't think he'll be that expensive either. I think you can get him for a 2 year, maybe 14, $15 million contract, similar to what David
Yeah,
Montgomery got, something
yeah,
like that. And
Yeah.
I feel like it paid dividends. I feel like he's the exact type of running back needed for your scheme now.
I always said to you, at least in the last year, I said that Antonio Gibson should have been the starter and he should have got more touches in Washington, but Ron Rivera, for whatever reason, just never believed in him.
When they lose him, their offense is going to fall off a cliff because I like Brian Robinson.
Yeah. He's a
He's
good back, but I don't think he's an every down back like Antonio Gibson is.
hmm Yep.
So yeah, and Antonio Gibson's only 26.
Yeah. I don't even think he's that. I think he's maybe 25, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25 going on 26. So
So,
I really like that though. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that.
yeah. So let's get into this defensive conversation, shall we?
Yeah, so I think this is pretty easy for me. Okay, I say it's easy. It's not that easy, but uh, Frankie Louvu, man,
Let's go. Same page, baby. Let's
Frankie
go.
Louvu. He's
Let's
the heart and
go.
soul of our
Let's
defense. Like,
go.
and okay, so the thing is, a lot of people don't know this because you probably don't watch the Panthers games. But Reluvu is not supposed to be a middle linebacker. He's supposed to be an outside linebacker. But he got moved inside when Shaq Thompson went down with a broken leg. So I think you bring back Shaq Thompson. You got Frankie Louvu because they're both, well, you'd have to re sign Louvu, but Shaq Thompson's still under contract, at least for another year. Um, and you just you go off of that. You move him outside, you have Shaq in the middle. And I think that's a great value for what you need because Luvu can also rush the passer. Luvu has proven to rush the passer. He'll be cheaper than Brian Burns. That's a guarantee. I'll put money on that. Because
Mhm.
for what Brian Burns is wanting, and Brian Burns is considered an edge rusher, Luvu is considered just a linebacker. So his pay scale is going to be different than Brian Burns because of what he's done. So you're talking money wise, it makes sense. You're talking locker room wise, he is the heart and soul of that Panthers defense. He was the best player on our defense besides Derek Brown all season.
Mhm.
When he was healthy, all season, he was the second best player on that defense.
Mhm.
Um, Third best, you can argue JC Horn because JC Horn, when he's on the field, is dominant. When he's not on the field, you know, the rest is history.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Luvu for me, man.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't easy to say. I know there's a bigger name value behind Brian Burns, um, but I think Luvu makes more sense long term, especially our GM is a former middle linebacker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've been saying it all season. I've been saying it before the season. I've been in our private conversations. It's easy for me. It's Frankie Louvu. Uh,
yeah,
I I I went to the game in Carolina, that monsoon winter storm game, and
yeah,
what the cameras did not show, because we were on the sideline. We had really good seats. After they gave up that big play to Janu and we scored
hmm
a touchdown on that drive, Frankie Louvu he lit into that team and they
yeah,
responded. And after that big play, Atlanta had no more explosive plays. We had nothing. They shut that offense down. Now,
hmm
partly some of that due to Arthur Smith and Desmond Ritter, but you got to do it.
yeah,
He, like you said, the heart and soul of that defense, brother. It's reminiscent of Thomas Davis. That's
hmm
what it feels like with him.
yeah,
I like Brian Burns as a player. I would love to have him in Atlanta. He is not that kind of leader. Um,
mm,
he doesn't have that kind of the personality
yeah,
vibes are for players that like rally around him. Not like Luvu. Luvu plays every down like it's his last because it was supposed to be his last. He wasn't supposed to be in this position. He was undrafted. He wasn't
hmm
supposed to be here.
He was a special teams player in New York.
Hmm He wasn't supposed to be here, man. And not only did he make the most of his opportunity, he thrived, man. He is one of
hmm
I've been saying like you said, for folks who don't know, me and TJ talk almost every for the most part like 3 times a week, even when we
Yeah,
don't do the podcast. I've been saying Frankie
yeah.
Louvu is should be in the conversation of well, he's as versatile as Fred Warner in my eyes. Most people
Hmm.
don't see it yet because they don't watch Carolina. But if you watch Carolina,
Right.
you know he's of that athletic caliber. It's just maybe Fred Warner got better instincts, but Lulu's up there as well. Um, you cannot afford to lose him. You can't. You cannot lose him.
Mm,
You can lose Brian Burns because I would argue when he was on the field, he didn't give you much to begin with. I think he only
yeah,
had 1 season of double-digit sacks, if
yeah.
that. Oh,
He had one season of double digit. He had 12 sacks one year, and that was it.
man, you can't give that $30 million, man. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I'm sure y'all would love to have him back. I know the fan base would be upset if he left, but you have to think of the bigger picture.
Hmm.
Because I'm telling you right now, Lulu goes, he's going to get 100 tackles, he's going to get 6 sacks, he's going to get 3 interceptions, and he's going to transform the defense. I'm telling you now, that's the type of player
Hmm.
he is. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can't lose that.
Yeah, it's important, and like you said, I don't think a lot of fans understand that because they don't watch Carolina games because we're the worst team in the NFL. Blah blah blah. We're North Carolina. Nobody cares about Carolina. Um, but at the end of the day, I mean, he is a great player who needs to be recognized more than he is, and I think this offseason people will realize because he's going to get paid
Mhm.
one way or another. He's getting paid by
Oh yeah,
somebody.
oh yeah.
Um, and he's probably going to reset the market to a degree, not to the level of Fred Warner, but I definitely think he'll be up there with Tremaine Edmonds, like you said.
Hmm.
He won't be making Roquan Smith money
Oh
because
no,
nobody's
no, no,
making
no,
Roquan
no,
Smith
no, no,
money.
no, 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 no.
But yeah, he'll be right there. He'll be top six
Hmm.
among linebackers,
Oh yeah,
so for sure.
yeah. He's a great player. Can't afford to lose him.
Hmm.
That's all we got for this episode, folks. But before we go, I'm feeling like a down bad award should be given out.
Let's do it.
And mine is pretty simple because it just transpired over the past 2 to 3 hours. My down bad award is going to none other than Winston-Salem State's own Mr. Stephen A. Smith. If you haven't, if you don't know
Oh,
why I'm giving Stephen A. Smith the down bad award, go on to the New Orleans Pelicans Twitter account where they have been trolling Stephen A. Smith for the better part of 6 hours.
I
they
don't know about this.
they
What
put it,
happened?
they put his college stats up because you know how he talks basketball. They put they made it their Twitter bio. Stephen A. Smith, 1.5 points in his career and 1 assist. They have been relentless. They've been
Oh
trolling him.
no.
And Stephen A. Smith is saying he can't say anything because he loves CJ McCollum and he loves their head coach Monty Williams. But I think that's their head coach. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care about the Williams. I don't care. But they have been getting on him. They posted a highlight clip of his with him his voiceover from when he was talking about Kwame Brown. They put it over him playing him shooting before games and airballing, and they put when he fell slipped and fell before the All-Star game.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
It's world class trolling. It's top notch trolling. I love it. I love every minute of it. I love when people troll, and I love Stephen A. Smith. But it's funny, man. It's funny. You got to tip your cap to him, brother. I know you're gonna get back on them when you do your podcast, but they got you from this one, man. They got you. They cooking you, brother. Yeah. You got anybody, brother?
uh, I'm gonna say Steve Wilkes, man.
Don't do my boy, man. Don't do my boy.
And I do it respectfully because he's a former Panther, but he keeps on getting shafted by the NFL.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah.
Like I feel bad for him. I'm not gonna go on a rant. I'll save that for another day. Yeah,
It's
man,
not
I
his
just
fault. The defense
yeah.
played well in
I'm
that
not gonna
game.
get into it because it kind of gets me upset because I feel for him. He deserves better.
I told you who it was, brother. It's Shanahan, man.
I know.
It's the
I'm not
Shanahan
gonna get
defense,
into it,
brother.
right? Cause we got like a minute and a half left.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, man, my down bad award is Steve Wilkes, and it's not to be disrespectful. It's totally out of respect for him. I feel bad for him. So
keep your head up, brother. Hey,
yeah,
man. The real ones know. The real ones know.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but
He deserves better.
yeah,
He deserves better.
yeah. We gonna get out of here, folks. Check out our next episode, combine, draft, all the good stuff.
Yes.
And yeah,
We are gonna try so hard to live stream the draft this year. I have a method. We just got to get some kinks out
fingers
and we got to
crossed.
practice. But yeah, we'll be ready hopefully by April. So
You know. Until then, folks, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep liking our videos on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Keep listening to us on Apple Music. I'm sorry, Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from, folks. So, till next time.
deuces.